The board structure at Terwilliger is made up of 11 people. 6 of us are residents here, 5 are from the outside, and that provides for a really great mix of expertise and interest and structure. The inside board members are eligible for 2 3-year terms. The outside board members are eligible for 3 3-year terms. And we are structured with 8 committees. And one of the things that I find interesting with the committees is 3 of them are actually chaired by residents, so they are not members of the board, but they have another way to provide influence. And 50% of the committees have residents on them. So it's rather an eclectic group that way.
The opportunities for member input, resident input here is significantly higher than it is in any other continuing care retirement community I've been associated with.
The purpose of the board is to govern and continue the legacy of Terwilliger Plaza, Inc. We have the responsibility for this corporate structure. And one of the things that is very important for that is the future.
The difference between the function of the board and the function of the administration is the difference between setting policy and operations. The board hires the CEO with the specific purpose to hire the staff and to carry out those policies.
This is a very proactive board in terms of setting standards. We are Fitch rated. We think that's very important to have that rating.
That Fitch rating is a financial rating, which is there, and which puts us in a distinct category amongst other communities similar. And likewise with the CARF CCAC, it's a self-accreditation by continuing care communities who get together and set standards. And again, it puts us in a unique category because only 10% of the continuing care retirement communities in the United States are rated or accredited by CARF CCAC. Terwilliger Plaza is unique in the sense of having a majority of the board of directors as residents who actually live in the community. Terwilliger Plaza is the only continuing care retirement community, non-profit, which has a majority of the board of directors as residents who actually live here. That means that the members have had just tremendous vision over the years in order to make certain that they're keeping the focus on the long-term health of the community, which assists both those who live here now and who keeps the community healthy going on into the future. Terwilliger Plaza has been able to maintain both to the strong health of the community, significant resident input, the board being member-driven, and being able to keep that long-term vision for the financial and the operational and the resident health of the community.
You have to have the big picture. You have to know why we can't do that, why we can do that, why we should do that. So that sense of not only the picture outside Terwilliger, but also certainly inside, makes for a much more vibrant decision-making. The impact certainly is most obvious in the budget because the board sets the budget. That's a good example of administration and board because the administration starts with all of the information that you need to build the budget, but then it's presented to the board and we can ask questions in terms of, well, why do we put the emphasis here, why not? Can we really afford this, etc. But when the board makes the decision to say this is going to be the monthly fee, 6 of the 11 of us are going to be paying that monthly fee. So in that sense, we have an understanding both from a corporate level, but also from a membership level. We haven't talked about the resident council, and the resident council is made up of 14 representatives from the various floors in the 2 buildings. Some of them have weekly meetings. So for example, my floor just last week had a discussion about emergency health care. So you know, as you have these conversations, either formally in a meeting like that or, just casually, yes, there's concern about this. Yes, there's a future here. Yes, we have to be aware of it. And I think, again, that speaks to the dynamic of outside members and inside members, because some of what I think about in terms of planning goes beyond the board retreat that we have once a year. So it becomes much more a dynamic interweaving of the community and the community needs.
And as a part of this, it becomes a part of the fabric of the community, and it, much more so than in other communities that I've been a part of and have worked for and worked with, in the sense that because of the structure, the board, which has a majority of residents, sets the tone for resident input down throughout the whole community. The input from the resident council and the members of the resident council is more welcomed and invited and encouraged at Terwilliger Plaza than in other communities I've been a part of. I have been tremendously blessed here over the past 4 years to have Cliff Droke and then now Linda Mather as the partner for the board chair to work with. I think it's a very good and honest relationship.
And I'll pick up on the notion of partnership because I really think that's what it is, and it should be. You know, as Bob I think earlier said, the board sets the policy, but the administration has to carry it out, and it's a teeter-totter. You can't have one be stronger than the other, et cetera. So in that regard, we really circle around again. We want to make this the best place there is, and we can only do that in partnership.